Test 1 2. Testing 1 2. AC Sports Live, September, the second day in the year of 2025. AC, this is AC Sports Live, and welcome once again to the cockpit, Studio 1 in sunny Southern California, which was 98 degrees today. Hope you stay cool. Young Bull Papo in here. What's up, sir? Hope everything's going good with you. I see my main man, Cam Brunson, on Instagram Live, broadcasting live, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. Dr. Frazier's in here, aka the Board of Health, because he's clean. Tonight's show, college football's back, and I couldn't be happier, man. I spent the whole day Saturday just eating sandwiches, watching football, watching guys just get out there and lay it all on the line. Brought up good memories, man. Had a good time. Chevy and Nasty in here. The Ride is in here. Straight from the... Is it cold? It can't be cold. It's still warm in Canada right now. Getting ready for the show. Cowboys, Eagles. Oh, you're setting up my shots. I see you, sub 6. FSU is for real, man. Shout out to Earl Little Jr. Big Earl, my boy, roommate. His son is out there, number 0, handling business. My Bruins got whooped, but it's not anything you can't fix. Delaware State showed up versus Delaware. Did not get beat by 30. In fact, had a chance to win that thing if it weren't for penalties and just dumb mistakes. North Carolina, shout out to Andrew Simpson, who led the team in tackles, but the rest of the team was not ready for Belichick's debut. Talk about that briefly. And Coach Prime, without Shedeur, it wasn't the same, but he still had one individual bring back one tradition that he kept with his own sons, and that's that walk to the end zone and back. Tennis has been hot, especially women's tennis. Talk a little bit about that. It has Taylor's ups and downs of her tournament. Naomi knocking out Coco. NFL starts Thursday. Elephant in the room is Jerry Jones. Power tripping on Micah Parsons. Thanks, Jerry. Go Birds. Saquan has been voted number 1 player in the league by his peers. Tender love, pretty much every European tennis player complaining about something. And then Bishop Montgomery High School out here in SoCal gets fired, and because he was trying to get good real fast with 25 transfers or so. Now the whole team is not playing. The whole season has been canceled, so he made a tender love report. This is AC Sports Live, and it's time to get started. Like MC Hammer used to say, let's get it started.
He ain't never slumber, never put him to the test. He be reigning king forever, resurrected after death. All praise to God, brother, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, all praise to the one.
Yes, sir. I'm in the building. Robert Loico's in the building. Go Bruins, even though we didn't go very far last week. Boise State, open field tackling and getting ran over. That sounds like what we did at the Rose Bowl. Dr. Frazier said, let's go Packers. Yeah, I guess you can say that. You can say that. Oh, man, that's an old, what's that? How'd that get on the screen? That's old. That's last week's promo. Where's this week's promo? How'd that get up there? Today is the 9th. The September 9. I need 9-2. Where'd that go? Oh no, did I put it in the wrong slot? That'd be tragic if I did that. I did put it in the wrong slot. Let me see if I can't find it. It's in, let me see. Where are my slots? Could it possibly be in here? It is. Oh, there we go. I put it in a different slot. All right, let's get it going, man. Happy Boy's in here. He said the Cowboys, UCLA will wake up Friday at 0-1. And you know what? Somebody told me that today at the job. One of my students said he said he's putting $350 on the Cowboys because if I win, the payout is $1,500. And I said, well, Jerry Jones, just let go of your best player. And his it's not ring night, it's actually banner night at the link. So we might be a little bit distracted. It ain't too far-fetched. Dak Prescott throws for $350. And CeeDee Lamb goes for $200. But guess what? Happy Boy, $2 bet. Eagles over Cowboys this Thursday to open up the season. Only thing stopping us is a bad injury. Is it this y'all year this year? Oh man, this show is brought to us by All In CDL Training, the future of commercial driving. Since Happy Boy's in here and he's a driver, he knows the importance of having a CDL license. All In CDL Training, www.allincdltraining.com, located in Long Beach, California. KC Mark's in here. Go Birds. See, my Birds going to come in here and represent Happy Boy. So you're outnumbered. Now, where's JaVale and Tremel and all the Cowboys fans? Where y'all at? Where's Big Time at? In the Big Time show. I'm going to be on his show. We're going to talk about the game Thursday. I think we're going to do a show maybe on Thursday and talking about that. Jay Dallas in here. Wazoo plays John Glenn next week. What? That's terrible, man. Hey, FSU put hands on Bama, and it was a beautiful thing to watch. So here's some scores. Ohio State beats Texas 14-7, and I think we can slow our roll on Arch Manning being the next guy. I don't know if he's the next guy. As Tim Hood calls him, Cuddy Sark once again smokes off a big chance to be number one and stay number one. Instead, they go out there and almost a goose egg, but Arch gets one touchdown versus a very, very tough Ohio State defense. So no harm, no foul there. But Florida State is back, beating Alabama handily, 31-17. Nobody saw that coming except those of us who know that Florida State has reloaded. See some other pushover games. Oregon beating Montana State by 50 basically, and Florida beating Long Island by 55. And, you know, these little powder puff games, but that Florida State Alabama game was turned up, man. This is not the same team by any stretch. My main man Earl Little Jr. led the team in tackles, hitting all over the place. Number 0 was not to be messed with. I think this is the Thorpe Award winner this year, hands down, preseason and throughout. The kid is a freak. He was a baller in high school. Went to Alabama, didn't work out. Told Saban, I'm better than the guy you got in front of me. Transfers to Florida State and proves that he belongs. And he's one of those guys who went to St. Thomas Aquinas, and he's worth the price of admission. My Bruins, on the other hand, not so much. That might have been one of the worst displays of tackling that I've seen in a long time, Robert Lloyd Gould. Our Bruins are in need of some toughness. We know Utah's always hard to beat, especially at night. But when Nico, he had his first game at the crib, jitters, missed about 5 throws, but he was competing. He ran the ball pretty well. ended up being our leading rusher with 47 yards on 13 carries. The passing wasn't there. I know it's a timing thing, but you can't blame that. The same thing with North Carolina. You can't blame timing and chemistry. You've been together through camp. It's the OC's job to simplify things and make sure you run plays that are not so dependent on timing. Now, Nico missed some easy throws for us to say is easy, but Mikey Matthews, the Mission Viejo product, they just couldn't connect. It was just them just not being on the same page, and I think it's going to get better. Defensively, I'm more concerned. We couldn't tackle. We need to go ahead and have some tackling drills in practice and take the risk of some guys getting injured because we didn't know how to get off blocks and make tackles on third down. I think they were 16 of 18 on third down, and they made their quarterback Dampier look like Michael Vick. 200 yards passing, 87 yards on the ground, and they were unstoppable on third down. And I think I shared with somebody, it's not that we don't have talent. I think we're not putting our talent in a good position to be successful. And I'm looking at a trend. A lot of defensive coordinators are pinching their defensive ends versus the RPO, and they're taking the back. If you have a quarterback that's mobile on a short yardage situation and the quarterback is reading the end, I think it's important that defensive ends are taught to play the same cat and mouse game that the quarterback is playing, because he has more help on the inside than he would have on the outside if the quarterback kept the ball. I saw Andrew Simpson do an outstanding job versus the pulling guard versus the RPO several times, where he avoids the block and makes the play in the backfield. I think he had 1.5 tackles for loss and 8 tackles, solo tackles, but he was doing his part. The team just wasn't there. But I think that football IQ for defensive ends, and this is UCLA, Delaware State, where my son was playing, they actually had our defensive ends at Delaware pinching to take away the back. And I know you don't want to get carved up by a running back. That's the first order of business for most defenses. As Carlos Lara will echo if he hops on here, first job, stop the run. However, when there's an RPO and the quarterback is already kept on short yardage several times, and the linebacker that scrapes over the top is not going to get there in time, you got to make an adjustment. And UCLA did not make an adjustment. They just kept running the same defensive scheme, same defensive idea. 16 of 18 on third is crazy. So UCLA has some work to do. The first time offensive coordinator didn't do so great. Got to put up more points. Got beat handily, as did North Carolina and Bill Belichick's debut. They got beat 48-14. So I'm sure he is reeling right now. What do we need to do? I just think North Carolina has 70 NIL transfer guys. It's going to take a minute for them to gel and play together. I like Nico. He just didn't have any help. Nico's going to be fine. He just needs to put some more touch on that ball, throw a more catchable ball. And he typically does. But it's the first game out. Maybe he didn't, know where his receivers would be when the lights were on. And as they watch the film, they'll see of the opportunities that they left on the field. I got Coach of the Year in here, BT, Servite Track, in the business of getting guys faster. Check out Brandon Thomas at Servite High School. I'm happy we got Nico. Immediately brings us extra, notoriety, television love, but we got to put out a better product than that. That was ridiculous, man. But shout out to the Delaware State Hornets, man. My son's team, they played well. They were supposed to get beat by 30. They lost by 18. They played tough. They had touchdowns called back because of penalties. My son's sack got called back due to a penalty, a substitution penalty. So he was, bummed about that. But the video was the video. He got there, made a sack. They have University of Albany this week, a very winnable game. So I definitely will be in the building. My wife and I are going to make sure we're there for my son's first home game at Delaware State. So it should be a different outcome. It should be a well played game in comparison to last week's. They had 16 penalties. And I'm sure at least 10 of those can be cleaned up. 10 of them were home cooking, if you ask me. But they had an opportunity to beat Delaware University for the first time ever and came up short due to self-inflicted wounds. Coach Lauer's in here. Do the Mater Dei Monarchs have a game this week? After we saw the Bishop Montgomery game just totally go down the drain. The program has 5 kids ineligible, which makes them ineligible for 24 months. They can't play in CIF at all. They fired the head coach, Hodgkiss, a guy I played against in arena ball. He knows better than that. You can't have all those transfers and not be legit. He was trying to get good too fast. We'll see who Mater Dei has this week. This guy got to go ahead and just get to the Trinity League and get some competition. Jimmy Guerrero's in here. Jimmy G. What's up, sir? Didn't go to the game last week to see Cerritos College and see Ezra when Papo said he's redshirting. So I was like, well, I didn't really promise Ezra I'd come to that game, but I will go see him play at some point. This week, though, I'm traveling back east to Delaware State. See my son play. We'll see how that goes. Touching moment. Colorado lost this week. And, of course, they don't have all the guys they had last year, so they got to get these new guys up to speed. And if you are familiar with how Coach Prime prepares for his games, he typically will walk his sons down to the end zone and back to the coach's box. He doesn't have that anymore. And I know that's a big thing for him. But one of his players took it upon himself to be that guy, to take that walk with Coach Prime. And I think he might have bought himself, a spot on the team as long as he wants it. Said, Coach, I know you don't have your sons to walk with you, but I'll walk with you. And I think that that's what coaching is all about, man. That is somebody that's aware of the situation. His name is Isaiah Harge. He took that walk with Prime. And, of course, the quarterback that they replaced Shedeur with missed a lot of throws. And I saw that a lot this weekend. A lot of throws were missed. Not that these guys can't play, but sometimes the moment is big. Did you see the Carolina game last night? The moment was too big for their $4 million quarterback who didn't complete a pass for an hour and a half. It's more than a notion. If you've never played in front of 85,000 people or 100,000 people, it's not easy, y'all. You have to be trained and prepared for the moment. We played in big games at Long Beach Poly. So when you got to college, those big games weren't that big. But I noticed the look on some of my friends and my teammates' faces when we played against Tennessee at Tennessee. The lights were brighter. We played Michigan at the Big House. The lights were brighter. We were on ABC, the national televised game. And some guys don't really play well when the game is huge and you can't hear yourself think. Said it didn't bother you? Wasn't too big for us. I look forward to it. You play that both. Play better when it's bigger. because it means more. When people are booing you, we play that in Nebraska, and Nebraska's fans are right on your neck. Man, we got beat 1,000-0, but it wasn't because some of me and my buddies weren't afraid. We just didn't have the same team. That was the game where Coach Terry Donahue said, if we play perfect, we had a chance. I was like, oh man, we about to get mopped because our coach doesn't believe we can win, and that does it. And that's kind of why I'm wondering if Bill Belichick's tone, because I know Nick Saban had a very calm tone, but you knew Nick Saban would get after them kids. Is Bill Belichick too monotone and level? Like he doesn't get excited at all. And then you flip the script to Coach Beamer at South Carolina, who's a lot younger and a lot more animated, excited. Even like Coach Day over at Ohio State. They get after the kids. They get a little bit excited. Deshaun Jackson over at Delaware State gets the kids excited because he's excited. Bill Belichick talking out the side of his mouth at the press conference. We just got to do better and we got to tackle. And I don't know if that's going to work. He said we didn't have the internet and wanted to represent against those dudes we only saw in magazines. Absolutely. Jim said Tommy Frazier was another level. We saw Tommy Frazier, man. I was playing Rover, and I didn't get in much. But when I got in, they ran that downhill option, and you play at Nebraska. Their field is on a crown. They are literally running downhill. Literally running downhill in your throat. And all you saw was our defensive players getting sliced up, like cut down and blown up. We were either getting blown up, feet in the air, or we were getting blown up, cut blocked. And we were just falling like flies. Just was getting sliced up. I think it was 50-3 or something crazy like that. I don't think Tommy Frazier finished the game. They put backups in. The guy who passed away in a plane accident, I think he was the backup. It was crazy. That was back when Nebraska was still Nebraska. Cut blocks, Big 8, known for that. The Big 8, you figure Nebraska, Colorado, back in the day, they will slice them knees up. Back when you had to wear knee pads to protect your knees. I'm seeing now these guys ain't wearing knee pads. They got pants up to their thighs. Must be nice. The knees are off limits and the heads are off limits. No helmet to helmet, no knee contact. That's crazy, man. Oklahoma, Nebraska, Colorado. Was Oklahoma State part of that? I was the Big 12. All three of them will cut your knees up. You'll come out that thing. You be having all kind of scrapes. Knees just raw. Elbows raw. We had to learn to use our hands to push them down to the ground and pick our feet up so we wouldn't get caught up in the wash. Oh boy, I don't think kids today, like I saw a kid get blown up. They put a tackle in motion. This was Penn State versus UCLA last year. They put an offensive lineman in motion. I think it was tackle over. And he came and blew up the defensive end. And I was like, you got to cut that guy. You can't just take that hit. That guy's coming at you full speed in motion. And he comes to kick out the defensive end. You just got to jump on the ground and hit him in the shins. You got to just take him out. Otherwise, they're going to keep running it. Andrew, you played Colorado and Eric B was cutting all of us. Oh, man. The good old days, man. You play against Eric B. Enemy. What was the kid who passed away from Nebraska, the number 1? I forgot his name, but he passed away. Lawrence Phillips. That was a big back. Big physical back, man. Didn't like tackling him. But yeah, great weekend of college football. Nothing like the beginning of football season to see who's who. Predictions are all wrong. A lot of losses. Miami's back. I'm glad about that. Saw a catch of the year. We saw that. If you didn't see it, YouTube it. Great games, man. I was watching them to the last game, which was UCLA, Utah. Only problem with the games is that my teams didn't win. Rodney Saw said cut blocking now has to be immediate after the snap. So no cut blocking after the immediate contact. How about, so no cut blocking, no crack backing. Wait, they're taking everything out the game. We literally were out there killing each other. Crack back blocks, ear hole, cutting legs out, taking kneecaps off. All that stuff is gone. So I had to teach my son how to play rugby style. Like tackle like this, because if you hit the way we used to hit, you're going to be out the game. And we don't want that. You just grab and tackle. You grab them and pull them down. All shoulder, head to the side. We were always taught hit them right between the numbers with your face mask. Now, hit them to the side, shoulder pad only. Grab them, slam them. Grab them, slam them. Hawk tackles. That's the way it is now, man. Darion's in here. Deacon Hill's in here. Appreciate y'all, man. So cut blocking is gone. So now you have the initial hit, drop is the only cut blocks you can do. I was playing receiver for Rick Neuheisel, and we would get candy bars for cut blocks. So we'd go out there, my redshirt freshman year, I go out there to spell JJ Stokes or Kevin Jordan, and I go out there and cut block the DB. They'd be so mad, but we would get candy bars for cut blocks and get more playing time for cut blocks, knowing we weren't going to get the ball. We would run on full speed, fake route. As soon as you got to the DB, you would take his knee out. Not to hurt him, but to get him on the ground. If you got him on the ground, you got more points. Rubio's in here. He says long snappers were live. Now they have a rule where you can't line up on them or hit them for a count of one. So Rubio was getting his head bit, in the back of his head was getting smashed after he snapped the ball. It was literally dangerous. Somebody with full speed run and bust you in the top of your head as you're looking at the punter or the field goal placeholder. It was a different day, man. No blindside blocks, personal foul. Oh man, how do you refs feel about it? Like, do you guys take any joy in the rules being what they are now? That's why I gave y'all that extra when y'all got the rock. You gotta get it in any way you can. I would just punch the ball and try to strip the quarterback when I was going on my blitz. I'm raking at the quarterback's arm, and they might try to say that's going to be outlawed because now you might hurt a quarterback's shoulder. Like in practice, you're not allowed to touch the quarterback's arm as he mid throw, because you can really hurt his shoulder like that. Rue says started at UCLA at 6'3" and left 6'1". They were taking inches off his head and his neck. We were just in there getting our bodies destroyed. I looked at myself this morning as I went to swim my laps and how I used to be 6'2". I'm 6 foot from my compression, neck compression. And it's a real thing, man. Like we're getting shorter. Father Time is cutting down our height. My feet are getting bigger. My ears are getting bigger, but I'm not as tall as I once was. And I have to work hard to stand up upright. Like my chiropractor says, I have to make an effort to stand up, chest out, shoulders back, and neck tall. My body has shrunk to save itself from hurting when I walk or stand up. Big Fletch in here. Big Fletch, no. Big Fletch used to be 6'5", now he's 6'2". He said, cut me. I'm on you for the rest of the game. Put your mouthpiece in. That is the truth. Darius, I remember when we played in Arena League. In the Arena League, it was blindside blocks all over the place. And there was no cut blocks. Nobody was trying to do all that. But there was a lot of blindsides. I got into an altercation with somebody from the Chicago Rush one time. And I think it was kickoff. And I'm going down on kickoff, about to make a tackle, and dude ear hold me inside the 20. I'm like, who does that? Like, who circles back? You didn't get me in the first round. The first round of blocks, you missed. And I'm running down, about to break down and make a tackle. Dude ear holds me. And I was trying to get him the rest of the game. Like, I was just trying to get him. Every time I run down there on kickoff or kickoff return, I look for him. I'm like, how you gonna ear hold me after I already beat you? He got his, he got his retribution. But I was upset, man. I was like, I'm gonna get him, man. I gotta get him. Can't just go out like that, man. He said, I was 6'2". I'm 5'11" now. Hey, it's a real thing. Hey, spine and discs is a real thing. Them things are compressed. I need to get them things pulled apart. I need to meet somebody that's really, really tall, really big, and can pull my whole body apart. It's, that would feel so good. You can still get him, and I'm okay with that. You can still go back and get him. All right, man. Tennis is going down, the U.S. Open, and the talk of the town has been Taylor Townsend and everything she's gone through. She got put out. She finally lost in the fourth round, but she had a great run, man. And she brought a lot of attention to herself and the sport, because once the sport lost, Serena and Venus weren't at the top anymore. I kind of stopped watching, and we had Coco Golf and Naomi Osaka and Sloane Stephens and those types of young ladies playing. I was intrigued to watch them, but it wasn't until the little controversy happened this week where the European female called Taylor uneducated, and I'm like, well, where'd she get that from? And I'm like, there's something missing. There's a cultural language problem here. Like, something's not right. How could she get that out of a tennis match? And then I had to go back and research it and see what's going on. Okay, so she apparently did not do something etiquette wise. But this is one of them moments where it was, if she had a black cap on, she could have threw it in the air and got it cracking, because she was in her face like, do something. And then she was like, what? And you can see Taylor's face like, what you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, so I'm like, this is not enough. And she thought she was going to parent her in the moment. And I know it took everything inside of her not to go upside her head. This is a Karen moment. It could have very easily been how black you want me to be moment. But she did not. She showed class and dignity. I still wasn't satisfied, though, with her unsportsmanlike acceptance of her loss. I'm like, something else must have happened. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I missing? Is there something that I missed? So net, if you hit a ball in the net, apparently you're supposed to say sorry. So this is what happened. She hit the ball in the net. Ostapenko stood at the net waiting for an apology. Because when you hit the ball in the net and you score, you're supposed to say sorry. And I'm like, so this is the point right here. So she looks at her, and Taylor turns around and walks away. That's why she was mad, on top of losing. So I was like, okay, so the language barrier problem is this. If you don't know the unwritten rules, then you're uneducated to the rules of tennis. In the moment, I don't think Taylor even cared about the rules or unwritten rules. She was focused on her game. But the loser, Ostapenko, took it personally and didn't forget as she kept losing, and then she lost. So that's the only thing she was thinking about. I could look at Taylor's face and she didn't know what she was looking at. and why she was mad. She was like, other than she lost. And then she probably looked back at it like, oh, that's why you mad. Some unwritten rule. Okay, now I get it. Well, shout out to Taylor Townsend for a great run, bringing attention to the game, keeping her composure, representing. She has a son who's looking up to her to have class and dignity and to carry herself in a proper manner in this sport that is very racist, because we heard from Naomi Osaka that that's not her first time hearing from Ostapenko saying something crazy. She says stuff crazy all the time, and that's what her response was. So Naomi, being a veteran, been around the block a few times, she's used to it, and she was proud of how Taylor handled the situation. Now Naomi is still playing. She put out Coco Gauff in straight sets, and poor Coco, she couldn't get over the big sister syndrome. I had never seen her play that bad. She couldn't even hit a backhand. So it was an easy work for Naomi. She looked like she was having fun. She was smiling. She was bouncing. Whereas Coco was in her own head. And that happens when you play against your big brother, big sister. You feel like there's a superiority complex there. But I was happy because Naomi, I still, claim Naomi, even though she's playing with Japan as her home country. She's another black girl magic. There's a lot of them playing right now. I'm super proud of them, and they can keep going, and it makes me excited to see them play. They played a good game, a good match, I should say. I'll show you I'm a straight basketball guy. Good game. It's a match. It's a match. CP3's in here. Even if I know, ain't saying sorry or like sorry for you. That's dumb. It is. If the ball hits the net, the ball's still in. Why are we apologizing? Where is Taylor from? That's a good question, D. I'm gonna look that up. I'll hit you up and let you know. I mean, she's not typical. She's a little bit heavier than the other young ladies, but she carries it well. She's quick. She's strong. She's powerful. And she just made herself a few $1 million by just being a classy young lady. So shout out to her. Shout out to her. All right, the NFL, man. Jerry Jones, man. We talked about it last week. Jerry Jones power tripping on Micah Parsons. We didn't think it was going to get to this. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Micah Parsons going to the Packers for a player and a couple of first-round picks. It's Kenny Clark from UCLA going to Dallas, and he says, now we got better. We can stop the run. Somebody need to check Jerry Jones, man. Micah Parsons. Y'all drafted him out of Penn State. A generational game changer. A fan favorite. Shout out to DeVale, who bought a Micah Parsons jersey for $350. Now he's stuck. Dr. Frazier said, go Packers. This is not Herschel Walker. You don't have Jimmy Johnson coaching. Jimmy Johnson not coaching the Cowboys. A descendant of the Schottenheimers is coaching. You just set that man up for failure. I don't think anyone is afraid of a run stopper. Everybody was afraid of a pass rusher that can have your quarterback running for his life. A person that you have to chip, a person that you have to bring a double team to on third downs. You just made the Packers, who are a contender, better in the same conference. You send him to the AFC if you really just want to get rid of him and not pay him. You don't send him to the Green Bay Packers, who you have to see. Micah Parsons might sack Dak Prescott 3 times that day. But that's Jerry being Jerry. He said in the documentary he's going to do it his way. BT said, as a Cowboys fan, Jerry done messed this up. He really messed it up. They people had racks and racks of Parsons jerseys and and Dig Sporting Goods and Big Five and Foot Locker, Pro Image, Lids. Micah Parsons is the dude. Better than CeeDee Lamb, better than Dak Prescott. I don't know if there's anybody else on the Cowboys that I can name. That was the big three. Rice said that documentary was telling. It really was, man. For all the good that Jerry did for the finances of the NFL and his own pockets, he is not a GM. He's just not a GM. Packer fans for over 35 years, Dr. Frazier. Well, here's a gift to you from Jerry Jones. And I have never, says Rodney Saw, seen Jones play these contract games with white players. Every single black superstar has had to hold out for extended time to get paid. That's in black and white. That's the elephant in the room. He can say that's not true all he wants. But that's been par for the course. Not paying this guy. Might get hurt. And then you let him go for chicken change. Oh well. Oh well. Saquan was voted #1 player in the NFL by his peers. Go Birds. Thursday night at the Link. Banner night. Cowboys without Micah Parsons. $2 bet. Me and Happy Boy. He said the Cowboys going to upset the Eagles on Banner night. We shall see. Go Birds. My tender love report again. The European women tennis players who are complaining about playing in Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's too loud, they said. We ain't got no class, they said. Y'all need to chill out. Fans are too loud is a crazy complaint. Now, if you're playing golf, okay. But we're playing tennis. You can be quiet at moments, but when it's time to be loud, they're allowed to cheer and celebrate and make the noise that they would like to make for the person that they're supporting. But when it's time to play, everyone's quiet and watching, doing their head side to side, getting, they're going to have their ambassador or whatever you call it, make sure the arena is up to par with the sound. But that is an excuse why you lost. This comes from the young lady who lost to Coco Golf. She's complaining about the sound barrier. Not that Coco played well, but she said the sound. Fraser said, I love you, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, tender love report, including Ed Hotchkiss, man. Bishop Montgomery High School football out here in California. Trying to get good fast. 25 transfers, 5 of which were deemed ineligible. Now these kids can't play for 2 years. I don't think that's how you do it, man. This is what we saw happen on the Netflix doc, where kids were transferring to play ball. Parents were getting separated to get kids' address changed. Do it the right way, man. As much as I want to see my high school get back to prominence, hypothetically speaking, if I were the head coach, it would take 3 years to get the kids to come back. You couldn't do it in one season. You have to regain the trust of the community, and you have to bring the kids in slowly but surely. You could bring kids in instantly, but they have to sit 5 games. And some kids are worth the 5-game sit out. You'll get really good really fast in that 5th game. But you can't try to make them eligible for his time. That's just bad business. And Ed knew better than that. So he loses his job in efforts to get these guys eligible. It might have been the pressure of playing modern day. Like, we got to have all these dudes to play modern day. I don't know why you think that no one will blow a whistle if you got 25 transfers. What's going on that you would, like, it's not college football where you can wipe out the entire roster and bring in a whole new roster like North Carolina did. They got 70 transfers out the portal for North Carolina football. 7-0. They had the resources. It is legal for the time being, and they went that route. Same thing Coach Prime did at Colorado with the bringing my Louis speech. You turn the roster over, you immediately get good. Delaware State. Coach D-Jack brought in 15 California kids, 5 Texas kids, 5 kids from Georgia. And you had to ask a couple of kids that were there that they would have to leave because we're moving in a different direction. We don't have time to wait. Well, high school football is not like that. You got to go by the rules, CIF rules. You have to have a change of address or some type of hardship to play immediately. If you try to play immediately without those two things, you run the risk of being caught, and you have to self-report. If you don't self-report and somehow or another that information gets to the wrong people, well, the right people, you're finding yourself in a situation now. Bishop Montgomery's season is over. They canceled the season. So all those kids, if there are 65 kids on that team and 25 seniors, those seniors' season is over. So it's not worth it. Do it the right way, man. That's sad. It's really sad. Because now all those parents, think about it, man. You play football your entire life, and for your senior year to get a chance to go, like, Bishop Montgomery has talent. Like, I saw my man Johnny Nansen with Ed Hotchkiss visiting, recruiting players. They got players. They probably need these 3 games to get their video out. Now all they got is the one video with the fight. No modern day film. That modern day film would have been gold. Had a kid played well versus modern day, he could put that video out and get a scholarship. But now all those kids, I wonder if there's a chance that the kids can go play somewhere else with a 5-game sit out. When the kid who hasn't done anything wrong, like, I would be so hot if I took my kid to Bishop Montgomery to play football for Ed Hotchkiss. And he's a good kid, going to class, not your typical football jock, but a good kid, plays ball, and now the season is canceled. So we had COVID my son's senior year, and their last game got canceled. That was 1 game, and he is already getting a scholarship. So it wasn't as bad. But I can't even imagine if we got the season cut down after the first game due to some transfer mess. Like Happy Boy said, a big mess. Oh well, man. You do dirt, you get dirt. Tragic, man. All right, let's go out on a good note, man. Let's go out on a good note. Unk season. Cook hairline throwback. This one made me laugh again.
But you put it too far back.
Get him a hat on. Get him a back.
So,
I don't know what to tell you then.
You missed it. Let me see.
Don't y'all leave him alone. Come on. I was lining it up.
apparently Unk cut him up and messed up his hairline. And now he crying. Hey, Unk. Why you doing him like that, man? This one right here. Where does it go? All right, Jet 2 Holiday. It ain't Unk season, but it's Jet 2. Jet 2 Holiday videos crack me up, man. Hit him high and give him the body slam, man. You can't see it on Instagram, but if you're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, you can see it. Nice knockout shot. And he does the Jimmy Snuka. That's not right, man. That ain't right. Last but not least, Unk gets hit in the head with a golf ball at the golf range. All right, listen to the sound. Took my boys to the driving range and was filming the guy next to us to help with his swing. That would have been enough for me to go home. Yeah, I keep watching just to hear that sound. I can't stop laughing at the sound of him getting hit in the head. I don't even laugh as hard as I did the 14th time I watched this. I'm crying. I like that I can read the comments and still see it pop off his head multiple times. The sound is addictive. That's very nice, natural sound. I feel so bad laughing. I don't feel bad. It's a good lesson. You don't stand up there that long before you hit the ball. I would be so upset if I'm at the driving range and somebody next to me can't play and he hit the ball, hit me in the head. Oh man, that's the worst, man. Walter Thompson in here. We play golf. You know how it is, Walt. Somebody hits you in the head with a golf ball, your day is over. They said my man had a lot on his mind. Dr. Fraser said Arthur Ashe Stadium, Braille Stadium. Very much so, man. All right, man, that's my show. Football is back. Cowboys, Eagles, Thursday night. Too early for an NFC matchup, NFC East matchup, but they know what they're doing. They're making money. Cowboys, Eagles, hated rivalry. Week 1 for the first place in the NFC East out the gate. They ain't slick. Walt said, I got hit in the ear. I got hit in the rear at the range once. That ain't the same as getting hit in the head. I appreciate you too, BT. Be good, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I saw you post when your boy scored a touchdown. That Servite speed is becoming a household notion. You went to Servite, you must be fast. That's how it once was at Long Beach Poly. You went to Long Beach Poly, you were fast. Now Servite got some of that same juice. Thanks to BT, bringing them boys over there, getting them right. It's all about technique, man. Shout out to Scory Peters, Brandon Thomas, all these guys teaching that good technique. Walt said it still hurt. Yeah, golf ball don't. Hey, I hit the ball last week. We were playing at Little Rec, and the first hole is 265. It's dead straight uphill, and the guys were on the green. And my group, everybody hit the ball about 220, 225. Nobody hit up to the green. So I go and I drive the green right next to the green. And the people up front were upset. And, sometimes you hit a good shot and everyone's like, great shot. You almost hit us, but great shot. Oh, this guy was so hot. I got up there. They were walking to the second hole. And I says, hey, man, I really apologize. Sometimes I hit a good one. And he was like, yeah, you could have hit me and my son. And I was like, I said, I'm sorry, man. So he was upset. He didn't accept my apology. He walked away. And my buddy I was playing with was like, okay, so he don't want to accept an apology. We're going to make the rest of his whole day uncomfortable. I said, no, let me stay on my shalom. Send me a little prayer for my peace because I was upset that he didn't accept my apology. Because sometimes you hit a good shot and you don't know it's going to be right there. I hit the ball right next to the green. I was so upset that he was upset and didn't accept my apology that my chip was raggedy. So I didn't even chip it near the hole. So I still parred the hole. I should have had at least a birdie. But when your mental is shot, it's so hard to play golf when you're not happy. You're not in a good mood. I mean, I could have had eagle opportunity. I could have chipped it to the hole and made it. But when your mental ain't right, it's hard to play golf. That ain't the sport you want to play on the emotional, man. He was being unreasonable, absolutely. And it felt racist. It felt racial. He wasn't very good. And I think I parred like 7 of the 9 holes. I was out there killing it. And the audacity of this black guy beating me in golf and hitting up on me and my son. I was like, hey, you know what? I ain't gonna let him mess up my rounds. I kept playing. I played pretty good. My homeboy was not. He was gonna be on his head. He's like, I'm gonna say something to him. Every time we go to a hole, we meet up, I'm gonna say something to him. I'm like, man, don't even bother, man. Some people want to be miserable. Let them be miserable. I'm gonna be in my shalom, the peace that passes all understanding. All right, y'all. I'm out. That's my show. I'll see y'all next week. We'll see how these games go. Happy boy, I'm either gonna owe you $2 off my wall, or you gonna pay me $2. Go to the bank, give me a crispy $2 bill. I got 2 of them hanging up there from 2 bets I had. I got one up there and one right there. You see them? Them bets I got from Happy Boy. Them Cowboys been letting them down. It's y'all year. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace and blessings. I'm out.